Let's analyze together Maxeon Solar Technologies, technical analysis, fundamentals, and more.
Let's go. Welcome to Trading HT. First of all, remember to read the disclaimer right here and also in the description below. We have the price action right there of Maxeon Solar Technologies during these last weeks and months. You can clearly see the breakout of the triangle pattern right there. After that happened, we had also this support area around 0.18 more or less. The breakout also occurred with a almost perfect retest around that area during the 7th of August, and from there the price started to drop even more. Maybe it will make new lows, we don't know it yet. We have to wait and see how this week closes. Let us know in the comments your prediction for it. Minus 2% just right now. What is going on? Let's take a look also at the financials of this stock, because maybe from there we could gather more data to understand the situation of this company.
Yeah, here we have the earnings that are going to be released very soon, and so we have to understand exactly the estimates and the reality we are experiencing right now with this stock. So let's take a look at the financials, and we're gonna explain you several indicators that you may pay attention to. The first one, the ownership. What happens right here is like the more free float shares that we have in a stock, the more volatility it has. So in stocks that are being sold short, like this one, because if it has a negative net income, this is very dangerous. No, in stocks like this, I prefer to have like a free float maybe of 30%, 25%, something like very that the stock, the owners can control and manage the fall of a stock. Normally in a stocks, the more free float is more difficult to change the situation, especially like this one. And then we have the growth and profitability. Very interesting. We have here the quarterly change, and what happens right here is the net income. The last one, the first quarter, it has been good in that sense, and it's like they're trying to rebound the financials. If you think about what happened in 2023, it has been bad. We're talking about like the last quarter minus 186 million of negative net income. That's super bad, but at least in the first quarter it has been better. Yeah, they cut the losses in half. So the key question here is like, what's gonna happen in the second quarter? Because if we have like a similar negative net income, for instance, let's say another minus 80%, that's not bad, but it's not good either, because the problem we experience right here is like, if the stock is in negative net income, investors pay the bill as always.
Yeah, it's interesting, this section right here of performance in the quarterly area. As Alvaro mentioned, is like these latest earnings in the first quarter. I mean, the revenue was lower. We have in the fourth quarter of 2023, 228 million, around that number. And then in the first quarter, 187 million, so less revenue. But the net income, you can see in the fourth quarter of 2023, minus 186 million. And then in this one, minus 80. So at the end of the day, the net margin was half, was better from if we compare both of them. So less revenue, but better net income. And at the end of the day, in my opinion, the important thing is to have a positive net income, because it's the the net income, of course, as the name states. So how do you see that situation? How do you see this kind of forecast, guys? Do you have a different perspective of what could happen? Let us know in the comments below. And also going a little bit lower in this section that we find very interesting, having revenue breakdown by country. You can see right there the percentages during 2023, where this company has been kind of operating or offering services in this case. And we have the majority of them, 57% United States, then we have Italy 12%, then we have France 6%, and then it says rest of the world 24%. But the key area right here is that the majority of Maxeon Solar Technologies operations are held in United States. So if we take into account, like the context of that country, it could help us to know how this company could develop, at least the sector of this area, this company in that particular country where the majority is being worked.
Let's see the forecast right now, Enrique, because we have like right now the estimate, and look at that, it's completely insane. The 5 analysts on Wall Street, they expect an average of more than 460% from current levels. That's insane.
Yeah, exactly. And then we have minimum plus 42%, 20 cents around these areas, and then the maximum 1,300%, even more, $2. Wow, we just have 5 analysts, not all of them as any other stocks that we have more than 20, more than 50 sometimes. So how do you see this forecast, guys? Do you agree? Do you have a different perspective? Let us know in the comments below. Then we have the analyst rating. Very interesting, because in this case, for the, based on 6 analysts giving stock ratings to this stock, in the past 3 months, we have sell. The two strong sells, 4 holds, so the average could be sell. Very interesting because you see in one completely bullish and in the other is kind of bearish. So how do you think this could be kind of analyzed, taking both perspectives into account? And then we have the forecast of the EPS that we also like to talk about. In the annual, we can clearly see that uptrend for the forecast 2024 minus $3, then 2025 half minus 1.40, and then 2026 minus 0.60. So very close to that profitability, we could say. And then in the quarterly, very interesting for 2024 and the start of 2025, the same. This could be going higher and higher according to this forecast right here. How do you see this also? Do you think this will be as it is? And if it happens, how will this affect the stock? And if not, how this could go for Maxeon Solar Technologies?
Yeah, it's gonna be key, because you are watching right now the revenue of the next years. In 2024, it's not gonna be good. It's actually gonna be the worst years in terms of revenue. The thing is, like, they need to hold the line. They need to survive to this year, and we already have, we are nearly 4 months to go. So they can, investors have to wait a little bit more, in order to see an improvement, because in 2025 they're expecting around 1 billion of revenue, which is good. We're talking about similar levels to what happened back in 2023. The thing here is, like, they manage the losses. They tend to reduce those losses in order to go back to the net income, which is the most important factor, guys. It's like, as long as we are not in positive net income, this stock is not gonna be in good bullish territory. We need, actually, even if we have like a positive net income in stocks like this, after a huge downside potential, it's like it takes a while, to recover this investors' confidence.
Yeah, I think it all depends also in the context of the market, if it has more hype or less. Sometimes the opportunity is there for a longer period of time, and sometimes it is like, wow, didn't even have the opportunity, it was already flying to the upside. It all depends in a lot of factors, so that's also interesting in trading. And as Alvaro mentioned also, and I think we did earlier, the revenue is an interesting data, but then we have the net income that it's more important, because if a company has less revenue but they cut losses and they improve the net income, that could be interpreted as something better for investors, because they will be operating in a better way. If you have a lot of revenue but the losses are huge, it doesn't matter. The revenue could be higher and higher and higher, but each month, on each year, and each quarter also, the net income could be also worse. So in this case, let's take that into account. Also, let us know in the comments, how do you see the future of this company? And let's go back to the chart to see from the technical side, what else can we see right here.
Also, guys, before that, join the conversation, leave your comments. We're gonna read them in the next video, and actually we have a couple of comments to read later in this video. Also, guys, remember to subscribe to our channel to watch more videos like this. And here we go, guys, technical analysis. We have a lot of things to talk about because we have the estimate right here, so different possible scenarios, and we actually have, like, for instance, a positive surprise factor. If we see something like better than the estimate, the stock at least should stop, going down. Another thing is a rally, because in order to see a rally, we need to see something very, very positive. And from what I see in the fundamentals, I don't think it's gonna happen based on that. But this is just my opinion, of course.
Yeah, from the technical side, in the daily time frame, we can see right here this white line operating, we could say, as a huge resistance level. We saw the first movement of this during the 29th of May, more or less. Then the second rejection of the price during the 1st of July, around that number. And you can see, wow, the price action was completely devastating right here. We have 3 red candles to the downside with a movement in total of more than minus 80%. Wow, that was completely insane. And, even gaps, bearish gaps to the downside. So that movement was completely devastating. From there, what else can we see? We had this kind of triangle pattern being broken to the downside also. So that was bearish right there. And then the latest breakout of this level that we mentioned at the start of this video. Right now, we have kind of this smaller resistance area, we could say. If we see a breakout for that level, and we also see the breakout of the next levels, we could be talking about this area of 0.19 more or less, and then maybe also the 0.27 cents. We could talk about the price from the technical side entering into the bullish territory again, at least trying to recover this past gap and this bearish price action. You know, it could indicate like the interest is there again. But of course, we don't know the future. It could also be the opposite. We could see the price getting rejected again, losing the previous support areas and visiting newer lows again. That could happen also. Or we could see some price, how do you say, when the price is like in a small area, a convergence or
accumulation and distribution process.
Exactly, an accumulation period right there. Be distributed later, or maybe not. We have seen very stocks that have been accumulated during long periods of time, but with this huge volatility in these stocks, you don't tend to see those periods for a long period of time. They tend to go to the upside or to the downside with a lot of volatility, as you can see right here in this case for the lower side, but it could happen to the upside as we saw with that forecast. So a lot of mixed opinions. That's why we enjoy analyzing these stocks, because we have a lot of perspectives. Everyone could be right, applying the right method at the correct time. Maxeon Solar Technologies Inc. Let us know in the comments below your thoughts about it, and let's read the comments from the previous videos.
Let's paste, Enrique, the comments that we have. I'm gonna read them and comment, you know, give you some insights about what's happening right now with this stock, about what you think exactly.
Okay, so first we have right here our fixed comment, as usual, pinned comment. Did you expect this Maxeon stock completely crazy? And we have an answer from Damn Yankee 1989. Very interesting. No, I did not. Whole market is basically red, though. Second red day in a row. So he didn't expect this kind of downtrend that we asked 8 days ago. Thank you for that answer right there. A lot of people didn't either, you know, because the market was completely in red, you could say. But sometimes stocks act differently, and the opposite is also true. We had, like, I think it was Surf stock that we're going to make a video just right now, so maybe it is uploaded if you check this video a little bit later, that all the market was in red, and this one was in green, or the opposite, I think. So it's interesting to see that kind of divergences or correlations between particular stocks and the markets.
Yeah, with Maxeon, I would say, you know, it's not very correlated with the market. Obviously, if the whole market is crashing, all the stocks suffer, you know, some of them more and less. And normally when we experience like a huge market crash, they tend to buy utilities, you know, it's like defensive, we have defensive stocks like this in order to avoid, you know, further losses. But with this one, you know, it's not very popular in that sense, you know. So if it goes down, it's because the fundamentals and all the retail investors that are there, so it's not that affected as in the general market. Okay, so we have the next one. Also, we have Danke. The only thing about this stock that makes me nervous is the losses they're facing. That's gonna be hurting their reputation, especially for investors. That's true, actually. I mean, we had lawsuits, and I remember Philips, for instance, is like they had a huge lawsuit, and they experienced like a minus 90%, which is surprising because that stock had a huge market cap. It was completely evaporated in just a couple of months. Completely insane. So obviously losses, they are very, very bad, and many investors, when they see something like this and they says the size of the lawsuit, if it's huge, they get out of the stock and invest somewhere else.
Yeah, exactly. So thank you for that comment. And I think in earlier videos we commented something about this type of lawsuits. We didn't know if they were true or not. We don't have the complete information. But of course, it's something to take into account if you have sources, so we can check that, and maybe in the next video talk about it. It would be interesting. We can see right here very fast. Apparently, the lawsuit alleges that Maxeon and its officers made false and misleading statements about the company's business operations and prospect, failed to disclose that Maxeon relied heavily on exclusive sales of certain products to SunPower Corporation, and other information right here. We have to, you know, to kind of confirm it, but of course that's something that could affect the stock from the fundamental side. So thank you for that comment, Damn Yankee. Then we have another comment right here, Tooth Shock. I think that we're not going to read the names because sometimes it's difficult to pronounce, and you can just read them right there. Maybe it's funny for you. We have, can you review ONRK stock? On Track is the name. We have it in our watch list, and we could see if something interesting happens, we could make a video about it. But if more people are interested from our subscribers and trading HT viewers this stock, let us know in the comments so we can make a video about it.
Exactly, we create the content for you guys. And then we have the last comment. It's like this user bought us 14 cents, still waiting for triple. Let's do 10 cents after short squeeze and take shorts to the moon. So, okay, so this guy actually bought around the current levels that we're experiencing right now. Probably, maybe he bought in August 6th. That's actually a good price, you know, after, you know, because he rebounded a little bit from that level. But obviously we are there again, and the problem is like if it continues to go down, remember to assess the risk, because imagine that we, for instance, we experience a breakout, you know, below the 0.12. We're talking about the stock could go down. It could go down minus 30% easily, you know, because look at the volatility that we have right here. This is a similar move back in August 2nd. You know, we're talking about like minus 38% in just a couple of days. So remember to assess the risk in terms of what you are expecting to gain and how much are you willing to lose in one trade.
Yeah, thank you very much for sharing, you know, kind of your trading strategies right there, or your trading entries. If you see that area of 10 cents, it could go lower. Apparently you were waiting for that. So we will see how it goes. Thank you for sharing. Let us know in this video if you changed your perspective or you have the same one. We are very happy with our audience. You leave a lot of comments, a lot of likes, a lot of subscribers. We really appreciate it, all the positive feedback, and also all your opinions. Thank you very much. Remember to check our other videos right here. Surf stock is the latest, but you can check all our other videos in the channel. Thank you very much. We really appreciate all of your positive feedback. Let's go.
Bye-bye.